Vatican City is a landlocked sovereign country, city-state, microstate, and enclave originally located in Rome, Italy. It became independent from Italy in 1929 with Lateran Treaty and a distinct territory under full ownership, exclusive dominion, and sovereign authority and jurisdiction of Holy See, a sovereign entity under international law which maintains city-states' temporal power and governance, diplomatic, and spiritual independence. The Vatican is also a metonym for the Pope, city-states, and worldwide Catholic Church government Holy See and Roman Curia. The country has the world's smallest land area, 49 hectares, and the smallest population, with 764 citizens as of 2023. It is the smallest state in the world both by area and population. As governed by Holy See, Vatican City State is an ecclesiastical or sacerdotal monarchical state ruled by the Pope, who is Bishop of Rome and head of Catholic Church. The highest state functionaries are all Catholic clergy of various origins. After the Avignon Papacy, 1309 to 1377, the popes have mainly resided at Apostolic Palace within what is now Vatican City, although at times residing in Quirinal Palace in Rome or elsewhere. The Holy See dates back to early Christianity and is principal episcopal see of Catholic Church, which has approximately 1.329 billion baptized Catholics in the world as of 2018 in the Latin Church and 23 Eastern Catholic churches. The independent state of Vatican City, on the other hand, came into existence on the 11th of February, 1929 by the Lateran Treaty between Holy See and Italy, which spoke of it as a new creation, not as a vestige of the much larger Papal States, 756 to 1870, which had previously encompassed much of central Italy. Vatican City contains religious and cultural sites such as St. Peter's Basilica, Sistine Chapel, Vatican Apostolic Library and Vatican Museums. They feature some of the world's most famous paintings and sculptures. Vatican City has no taxes and items are duty-free. A marshy area on west bank of Tiber across from City of Rome, located between Janiculum, Vatican Hill and Monte Mario, down to Aventine Hill and up to confluence of Cremera Creek. The territory of Vatican City is part of Vatican Hill and adjacent former Vatican Fields. It is in this territory that St. Peter's Basilica, Apostolic Palace, Sistine Chapel and museums were built, along other buildings. The area was part of Roman Raion of Borgo until 1929. Separated from the city on west bank of River Tiber, the area was an outcrop of the city. No passport controls for visitors entering Vatican City from surrounding Italian territory. There is free public access to St. Peter's Square and Basilica, and on occasion, papal general audiences can go to the hall they are held in. For these audiences and major ceremonies in St. Peter's Basilica and Square, tickets must be obtained free of charge beforehand. The Vatican Museums, incorporating the Sistine Chapel, usually charge an entrance fee. There is no general public access to the gardens, but guided tours for small groups can be arranged to the gardens and excavations under the basilica. Other places are open to only those individuals who have business to transact there. Within the territory of Vatican City are Vatican Gardens, which account for about half of this territory. The gardens, established during Renaissance and Baroque era, are decorated with fountains and sculptures. The gardens cover approximately 23 hectares. The highest point is 60 meters above mean sea level. Stone walls bound the area in the north, south, and west. The gardens date back to medieval times when orchards and vineyards extended north of Papal Apostolic Palace. In 1279, Pope Nicholas III, Giovanni Gaetano Orsini, 1277 to 1280, moved his residence back to Vatican from Lateran Palace and enclosed this area with walls. He planted an orchard, pomerium, a lawn, protellum, and a garden, viridarium. As Vatican City is an enclave within Italy, its military defense is provided by Italian armed forces. However, there is no formal defense treaty with Italy, as Vatican City is a neutral state. Vatican City has no armed forces of its own, although Swiss Guard is a military corps of Holy See responsible for personal security of Pope and residents in the state. Soldiers of Swiss Guard are entitled to hold Vatican City state passports and nationality. Vatican City has no formally enacted official language, but unlike the Holy See, which most often uses Latin for the authoritative version of its official documents, Vatican City uses only Italian in its legislation and official communications. Italian is also everyday language used by most of those who work in the state. In the Swiss Guard, Swiss German is the language used for giving commands, but the individual guards take their oath of loyalty in their own languages: German, French, Italian, or Romansh. The official websites of the Holy See and of Vatican City are primarily in Italian, with versions of their pages in a large number of languages to varying extents. The Holy See, not being a country, issues only diplomatic and service passports, whereas Vatican City issues normal passports for its citizens. Vatican City is home to some of the most famous art in the world. St. Peter's Basilica, whose successive architects include Bramante, Michelangelo, Giacomo della Porta, Moderno, and Bernini, is a renowned work of Renaissance architecture. The Sistine Chapel is famous for its frescoes, which include works by Perugino, Domenico Ghirlandaio, and Botticelli, as well as the ceiling and Last Judgment by Michelangelo. Artists who decorated the interiors of the Vatican include Raphael and Fra Angelico. The Vatican Apostolic Library and the collections of Vatican museums are of the highest historical, scientific, and cultural importance. In 1984, the Vatican was added by UNESCO to the list of World Heritage Sites. It is the only one that consists of an entire state. Vatican City has a reasonably well-developed transport network considering its size, consisting mainly of a piazza and walkways. As a state that is 1.05 kilometers long and 0.85 kilometers wide, it has a small transportation system with no airports or highways. The only aviation facility in Vatican City is the Vatican City Heliport. Vatican City is one of the few independent countries without an airport and is served by airports that serve the city of Rome, Leonardo da Vinci Fiumicino Airport, and to a lesser extent Ciampino Airport. The closest metro station is Ottaviano, San Pietro, Musei Vaticani. As of 2023, Vatican City had a population of 764 residents, regardless of citizenship. There were also 372 Vatican citizens residing elsewhere, consisting of diplomats of the Holy See to other countries and cardinals residing in Rome. The population is composed of clergy, other religious members, lay people serving the state, such as the Swiss Guard, and their family members. In 2013, there were 13 families of the employees of the Holy See living in Vatican City. In 2019, there were 20 children of the Swiss Guards living at the Vatican. All citizens, residents, and places of worship in the city are Catholic. The city also receives thousands of tourists and workers every day. The Papal Basilica of St. Peter in the Vatican is a church of the Italian High Renaissance located in Vatican City, an independent microstate in Rome, Italy. It was initially planned in the 15th century by Pope Nicholas V and then Pope Julius II to replace the aging old St. Peter's Basilica, built in the 4th century by Roman Emperor Constantine the Great. Construction of the present basilica began on the 18th of April, 1506 and was completed on the 18th of November, 1626. Designed principally by Donato Bramante, Michelangelo, and Carlo Maderno, with piazza and fittings by John Lorenzo Bernini, St. Peter's is one of the most renowned works of Italian Renaissance architecture and is the largest church in the world by interior measure. While it is neither the mother church of the Catholic Church nor the cathedral of the Diocese of Rome, these equivalent titles being held by the Archbasilica of St. John Lateran in Rome, St. Peter's is regarded as one of the holiest Catholic shrines. It has been described as holding a unique position in the Christian world and as the greatest of all churches of Christendom. Catholic tradition holds that the basilica is the burial site of St. Peter, chief among Jesus' apostles and also the first bishop of Rome, Pope. St. Peter's tomb is directly below the high altar of the basilica, also known as the altar of the confession. For this reason, many popes, cardinals, and bishops have been interred at St. Peter's since the early Christian period. St. Peter's is famous as a place of pilgrimage and for its liturgical functions. The Pope presides at a number of liturgies throughout the year, both within the basilica or the adjoining St. Peter's Square. These liturgies draw audiences numbering from 15,000 to over 80,000 people. St. Peter's has many historical associations with the early Christian Church, the papacy, the Protestant Reformation and Catholic Counter-Reformation, and numerous artists, especially Michelangelo. As a work of architecture, It is regarded as the greatest building of its age. St. Peter's is ranked second, after the Archbasilica of St. John Lateran, amongst the 4 churches in the world that hold the rank of major papal basilica, all 4 of which are in Rome, and is also one of the 7 pilgrim churches of Rome. Contrary to popular misconception, it is not a cathedral because it is not the seat of a bishop. The cathedra of the Pope as Bishop of Rome is at the Archbasilica of St. John Lateran. St. Peter's is a church built in the Renaissance style located in the Vatican City west of the river Tiber and near the Janiculum Hill and Hadrian's Mausoleum. Its central dome dominates the skyline of Rome. The basilica is approached via St. Peter's Square, a forecourt in 2 sections, both surrounded by tall colonnades. The entire interior of St. Peter's is lavishly decorated with marble, reliefs, architectural sculpture, and gilding. The basilica contains a large number of tombs of popes and other notable people, many of which are considered outstanding artworks. There are also a number of sculptures in niches and chapels, including Michelangelo's Pietà. The central feature is a baldachin, or canopy over the papal altar, designed by John Lorenzo Bernini. The top of the facade of St. Peter's Basilica has 2 clocks and several sculptures. The clocks were created to replace Bernini's bell towers, which had to be torn down due to insufficient support. The left-hand clock shows Rome time, the right-hand one shows European Mean Time. The statues are Christ the Redeemer, St. John the Baptist, and 11 apostles. The basilica has 6 bells, placed in the room under the Roman clock. Only 3 of them are visible from ground level while the rest are hidden behind the borden. They range from the smallest, which is 260 kilograms, to the massive borden that approximately weighs 9 tons. From 1931, the bells are operated electrically, thus permitting even the largest bell to be tolled from a distance. The oldest bell rotor dates from 1288, and the borden called campanone is rung at Christmas and Easter, on the solemnity of Sts. Peter and Paul, and every time the Pope imparts the Urbi et Orbi blessing to the city and to the world.